at Mill Creek campsite in Sumter County. It's a county-run campsite. We're all packed and ready to go. Again, I'm at Mill Creek Campground in Sumter County, and it's on a Thursday in June, and I believe there's only maybe 3 people here. Very nice campground. They have over 100 campsites. They are everywhere. Looks like I guess that's probably 30 amp hookups maybe in water. And you have a bathroom and showers in here. It's beautiful. So the Palmetto Trail comes right through here. This is the start of the Lake Marion Passage, which is about a 36-mile passage. So a nice place to camp if you're planning to hike the trail or just do a section like I'm doing. As you can see, this is the whole Palmetto Trail. The high hills of Santee section. You can see we're down here. Mill Creek Park and Mill Creek Campground is just up from the park here a little ways. And there's a couple of routes. It looks like one route is for horses and one route is Palmetto Trail. The yellow route is a horse trail. Red route is actually horse and Palmetto Trail. But from here, if you go north, you go through the high hills and you end up up in Poinsett State Park, which is a great park, one of my favorite parks. Very cool, and you got your little yellow arrow to the high hills. I am not taking the high hills route this time. I'm going southeast on the Lake Marion Passage all the way to Santee. I'm going to cycle the Lake Marion Passage, the Palmetto Trail, which is about 36 miles. And I am camping here at Mill Creek campsite. So I'll be headed southeast tomorrow on the trail. And I'm going to camp here tonight. Wake up real early. It is the end of June and it was about 91 degrees today. So yeah, I think it calls for an early start for cycling. Not sure how long it's going to take me. I'm estimating 5 hours. May take a little bit longer. I'm not in a rush. So we will see. But just to give you an idea of what's in my kit, turn around here. This is everything that I'm taking with me, except for that dog. Good dog. So I got the bike here, and I've had this bike for probably 15 years, but I made some upgrades to it. I'll show you a little bit more about that later. Got a liter here of water in my vest, my running vest, and I'm going to carry this on the bike, extra liter in the pack. And then I've got helmet, some snacks. I'm going to eat some of that tonight, and some other food I'm going to eat tonight in the morning. And got a first aid kit, some coffee, it's a necessity, sunglasses, and then this will be strapped to the back of the bike, which you'll see at some point. It's got my sleep system in here, tent and blanket, and then in my saddlebags I've got a kit. It's got some miscellaneous stuff, trash bags, sponges, spoons, toothbrush, lighter, some miscellaneous information. Oh, I saw them. This is a jet boil in fuel. This is my clothes. Change of clothes, didn't need that much. So that's that one side, and the other side we've got more sleep system. Pillow. I need to upgrade that pillow. Mattress. And let's see. Oh, I have some extra tire, spare tire in here, and some tools. And that reminds me, I have a pump that I need to put on my bike. A spare pump. Do have some other bottled water here, but that's going to be for in the morning to make some coffee and to make some food. Yeah, this is what I'm taking. And this is a one-day trip, sleeping overnight, one-day trip, but a kind of a shakeout for an extended 2-night trip I want to do on the trail later. Okay, I'm on mile 33 of the Lake Marion Trail towards the lake, and thus far it's been fairly hilly, rolly, not too bad though, but a lot of woods, single track trail so far, which is slowing me down a little bit. Average pace so far is only probably about not quite 7 miles an hour, probably 6.5. So we'll see how it goes. Looks like they're still working on cleanup. This is just past mile 33. F the sand. Sand is not fun for bikes, especially going uphill. This is a campsite at mile 26. It's labeled on the map. Nice picnic table, a couple benches. Nice areas to lay. Maybe a couple tents. And I can see why they put it here. Because this is your view. You can hear a wood duck out there. Beautiful. Right now, a little breeze coming off the water. Okay, I got about 20 more miles to go. So it's about mile 29 on the trail. So making some time, had a lot of flat and some downhill. All right, we're back at another trailhead at the creek, and the landing is called Sparkleberry Landing. And Sparkleberry Landing goes up into Sparkleberry Swamp, which is the swamp just northwest of the river. I guess when the dam backs up the lake, you know, it becomes a swamp up this way. So I've been up in the swamp several times in my younger days, duck hunting and just messing around in the boat. So have friends get lost up there, but that was before GPS. Nowadays it's probably a little bit harder to get lost, but I'm sure somebody can do it without a doubt. I will show you my setup quickly here on the bike while I'm taking a break. So I did get this little pouch, it comes in handy. I've got my phone in here and a battery backup and earbuds, which I haven't used yet. My attention's have to be too aware. Back here I've got my saddlebags. This has got my sleep system, or at least part of it, and the cook system as well. Few little change of clothes, socks, underwear. Sleeping bag and tent is in the backpack, along with some other miscellaneous items that's needed. Cap. Have my coffee cup. And yeah, actually 2 bags here, as you can see. It's actually rode pretty well, considering. There's a ton of little bridges like this, and most of them are well kept. They're in good condition. There's one up towards Mill Creek that is damaged. They just hadn't gotten to it yet. But these are nice little features. Halfway Swamp. This is a Revolutionary War historic site, a part of the Marion Trail. There's a battle just up from here. There's an interesting old building. Halfway Swamp Campground is right down that road. All right, we're officially at Pack's Landing. That is the train trestle in the distance, where you see that boat going towards the train trestle. That trestle goes over to Lone Star, which is in Calhoun County. Bunch of notices. Huh. Should I read them? No. All right, we got a little bit of roadway. We can make up some time. A little tiny sign right here. I didn't look at my map good enough, and going on a bicycle, you know, you have to really watch out for the turns or you're passing quickly. But yeah, it does have some signage. Well, I'm officially walking because there's no way you can ride a bike through here. This is the section kind of between 17 and 16. Kind of winds around. There's no trail. There's just no trail. So whenever you see a marker, you have to stop and try to find the next marker, which I don't know if you can see it there, but it's there. Well, I am out. I just got off of the trail at about mile 17, mainly because I was already going to stop early for various reasons, which I will entail later. But I got turned around in that section where there's no trail, and I ended up coming back the way I came. And then I was like, it happened to be an intersection of a road. So I was like, all right, I'm done. My wife is picking me up. So that's the end of my Lake Marion journey. I did about half of it. So I have to come back again and finish the other half. I made it back in one piece after that great adventure. I really overestimated what I could do on that trail. I thought when I planned that I'd be able to do about 7 miles an hour. It's a 36-mile trail, finished in 5 hours. What I didn't foresee, which I should have done a little bit more research, is the single track. On the single track, I just averaged probably about 4 miles an hour when I wasn't walking and pushing my bike, because you couldn't ride through a lot of the trail. You could get on the road and get about maybe 15 miles an hour in, but after that, you were when you got into the woods and on the single track, you just could not get any good speed. So it really slowed me down, and then you add having to push a bike and 90-degree weather, and it taking a lot longer and getting later into the day when it was getting really hot. So I did 5 hours. It was only 20 miles, so left about 16 more miles to go. Another thing was my bike malfunctioned and my derailleur malfunctioned, so I couldn't switch gears, so I was stuck in a high gear. Yeah, I just kind of added fuel to the fire of me not being able to really finish that trail. It didn't really matter that I couldn't change gears, to tell you the truth, though, because I just couldn't. I mean, I couldn't get a high average speed on there, and there was no way I was going to finish that trail in a decent amount of time with the heat coming on. I did enjoy the trail. I think it would be better hiked. It's just the part that I didn't get to, which is closer to the Santee side. Probably ride a bike. It's more road. You gotta ride over the bridge. That's probably better for riding a bike. But I wouldn't really recommend this trail for cyclists. Especially the first part. You've got, coming from Mill Creek Park, you've got a lot of sand. It's very hilly, because that's the high hills. And you got some contour all throughout until you get down into the swamp, essentially. When you hit Sparkleberry Swamp, you're probably the next 7 or 8 miles in the swamp. And there's a section there that I mentioned that's just, you cannot, there's no trail. So it was tough, but I mean, I enjoyed it. Not my best section, or not my favorite section of the trail, but I'm trying to do the whole Palmetto Trail, so I got 20 miles of it done. See you on the next one.